Right now, at this exact moment, while you are watching this, somewhere between 15 and 20,000 websites exist on the internet that are pretending to be FIFA. Not exaggeration, not clickbait. A real documented, measured number of fake FIFA websites, live, online, fully functional, and waiting for the next person to type a search query like World Cup tickets or FIFA 2026 jersey or watch World Cup online free. And here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. Most of these websites do not look fake. They do not look suspicious. They do not have broken images or strange fonts or obvious red flags. Many of them look exactly, pixel for pixel, identical to the real thing. And by the time you realized something is wrong, your money, your card details, your passwords, and in some cases your entire digital identity are already gone. This is not a small problem affecting a handful of unlucky people. This is one of the largest coordinated online fraud operations ever assembled around a single sporting event. And it has been building, quietly, methodically, for almost a full year before a single ball has been kicked. And the most alarming part of this entire story is not the criminals. It is how unprepared, how confident, and how completely unaware millions of football fans currently are about what they are walking into. Let's start with the scale, because the scale alone should stop you in your tracks. Since January 2026 alone, approximately 19,000 domains containing references to FIFA have been created, with activity including phishing campaigns designed to collect credentials and payment information from fans seeking tickets and merchandise. 19,000 in roughly 5 months. That is not a typo, and it is not an estimate pulled from thin air. That is a number generated by cybersecurity researchers actively monitoring domain registrations in real time. And separately, between March and May 2026 alone, one cybersecurity firm identified a 900% increase in fraudulent World Cup-related domains with more than 10,000 suspicious domains detected in that window. 900%. Think about what that growth curve actually represents. It means that for every one fake FIFA website that existed at the start of March, there were 10 by the end of May. The criminal infrastructure around this tournament is not just large. It is accelerating, and it is accelerating faster the closer the tournament gets, which means the worst of it has not even arrived yet. Now go back even further, because the planning behind this goes deeper than most people realize. Security researchers tracked more than 4,300 fraudulent FIFA domains registered. That is not opportunism. That is premeditation on an industrial scale, executed by people who understood exactly how long it takes to build something convincing enough to fool millions of people, and who started the clock early enough to make sure it would be ready. And at the center of this entire web sits an operation that researchers have given a name that sounds like it belongs in a heist movie: Ghost Stadium. Ghost Stadium is a Chinese-speaking, financially motivated phishing-as-a-service platform that has scammed between $470 million and $1 billion from football fans ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The group enabled the theft of up to $10,000 per ticket from at least 47,000 victims on premium ticket sales, and has stolen more than 2,500 FIFA account credentials that now circulate on dark web markets. It has registered over 4,000 fraudulent domains since August 2025 and is actively running a portion of them. Read those numbers slowly. $1 billion, 47,000 victims. $10,000 stolen per person, in some cases, on a single transaction. This is not a scam. This is an industry. It has staff, infrastructure, a business model, and, like any business, a product roadmap, because more than 300 of Ghost Stadium's domains are currently active, while an additional 3,800 domains remain parked, dormant, simply waiting to be switched on at the right moment. 3,800 fake FIFA websites sitting in reserve, not being used yet, saved for later, for when ticket demand peaks again, for when the knockout rounds begin, for when desperation among fans reaches its highest point, and the criminals decide it is time to deploy their reserves. So how do you actually identify one of these sites? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. The old advice of look for bad spelling, or check if the logo looks blurry, does not work anymore. Ghost Stadium created a pixel-perfect copy of the FIFA website, complete with single sign-on, authentication supporting 11 languages, and the fraudulent infrastructure. Attacks FIFA's own ping identity authentication system to intercept login credentials directly. Pixel perfect. 11 languages. A working login system that mimics FIFA's actual authentication technology. These fake sites employ real SSL certificates, the padlock symbol your browser shows for a secure connection, and load assets directly from FIFA's own servers to enhance credibility. That last detail is the one that should genuinely worry you. The fake site is not copying FIFA's images. It is pulling them, live, from FIFA's real servers and displaying them on the fake page. So when your eyes look at the page, you are not looking at a copy. You are looking at the real images, the real branding, the real visual identity of FIFA, wrapped around a completely fraudulent website. Your eyes cannot save you here. The visual inspection method that has protected internet users for 20 years has been defeated. So what is left? The web address, the URL, the string of characters in your browser's address bar that almost nobody actually reads carefully. This is now, according to every single security researcher and law enforcement agency studying this problem, the single most important line of defense you have. And it is also the thing that scammers have become terrifyingly good at exploiting. The fraudulent websites often use a technique known as typo squatting, where web addresses are designed to closely resemble legitimate sites and deceive visitors into thinking they are on an official platform. Let's go through real, documented examples, because seeing them written out is the only way to understand how subtle this is. Researchers identified specific domains actively impersonating official World Cup resources, including FIFA.pink, FIFAticket2026VIP.com, FIFA.moe, FIFA.buzz, FIFAweb.co, and FIFAcom.xyz. Look at FIFA.com.xyz. If you are scrolling through a search results page on your phone, glancing quickly, in a hurry, excited about finding tickets, does that domain register as wrong to you? It contains the word FIFA. It contains the word com. It looks at a glance like it could be FIFA.com. It is not. The hyphen and the .xyz ending change everything, but only if you are looking closely enough to notice them. And most people, in that moment of excitement, are not. Fake websites often use small changes that are easy to miss. A scam site may add extra words, swap letters, use unusual domain endings, or include terms like official, tickets, FIFA 2026, or World Cup to appear trustworthy. The word official is doing enormous work in these scam domains. Think about how counterintuitive that is. A website that puts the word official directly in its URL, official FIFA tickets something, sounds, on a subconscious level, more trustworthy than FIFA.com itself, because it is explicitly telling you it is official. But the real FIFA website never needed to say that. It is just FIFA.com. The moment a domain feels the need to announce its own legitimacy in its address, that is precisely the signal that it has none. Here is the rule that every security agency and every researcher studying this fraud wave agrees on, and it is the single most important sentence in this entire script. Type FIFA.com directly into your browser's address bar. Never rely on search results or links in messages. Avoid sponsored search results, which can be purchased by attackers to appear above legitimate results. Confirm that the URL is exactly www.fifa.com before entering any information. Use saved bookmarks or browser favorites when revisiting FIFA websites, and access FIFA subdomains only through the official homepage, not by typing them directly. Read that last part again. Do not type subdomains directly. This means if you are looking for FIFA's ticketing portal, do not type tickets.fifa.com or fifa.com.tickets directly into your browser based on what you've seen in an email or an advert. Go to fifa.com first, manually, by typing it yourself, and then navigate from there using the links on the real homepage. Every additional step you take based on memory or guesswork, rather than direct navigation from a verified starting point, is a step that scammers have learned to exploit. And the sponsored search results point deserves its own moment of attention, because this is genuinely one of the most dangerous vectors in this entire fraud ecosystem, and almost nobody thinks about it. When you open a search engine and type FIFA World Cup tickets, the very first results you see, the ones at the top, sometimes with a small ad label next to them, are not ranked by relevance or trustworthiness. They are ranked by who paid the most money to appear there. Scammers frequently pay for top ad placement, and these ads may come before official links, so users should avoid clicking blindly and instead manually type official addresses. This means that a criminal organization with enough money, and remember, Ghost Stadium alone has allegedly made up to $1 billion, can simply outbid everyone else, including FIFA's own marketing budget in some search regions, for the top advertising slot on a search results page. You search for FIFA tickets. The very first thing you see is an advertisement. You assume, because it is first, because it has the word FIFA in it, because it has a familiar looking logo, that it must be legitimate. It is an ad, bought and paid for by criminals. Now let's talk about the ticket itself, because even if a fan does everything right up to this point, even if they reach a legitimate seeming page and are about to receive what they believe is a real ticket, there is one more layer of verification that the vast majority of fans have never even heard of, and it is the layer that separates a genuine World Cup ticket from a worthless image file. FIFA is delivering 2026 World Cup tickets electronically through the FIFA app. If a seller offers paper tickets, printed PDFs, or screenshots as the ticket delivery method, that is a strong signal the ticket is not legitimate. A PDF, a screenshot, a printed page. These have been the default mental image of a ticket for generations of football fans, and for this World Cup, every single one of those formats is now, by definition, a red flag. But here is the detail that genuinely surprised even seasoned fraud investigators. FIFA's electronic tickets use rotating or time-sensitive QR codes that cannot be copied and reused. A static QR code in a screenshot can be sold to multiple buyers, with only the first scan at the gate being accepted and all others rejected. Picture this scene, and understand that it is happening right now to real people who have not yet traveled to the matches. A fan buys what they believe is a legitimate ticket from a reseller on social media. They receive a screenshot containing a QR code. The QR code looks completely real, because it is real. It was a genuine QR code, copied from a genuine ticket, but because FIFA's tickets rotate and refresh, that static, frozen QR code in the screenshot can be sold not once, but 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, to 20 different desperate fans, all of whom believe they have a valid ticket to a World Cup match. On match day, the first person to arrive at the gate and scan that code gets in. Every other person, 19 other fans, in our example, all of whom paid real money, gets turned away at the stadium gate in front of thousands of people having traveled potentially from the other side of the world with a worthless image on their phone. Professional ticket brokers report fake barcodes, incorrect fonts, and entirely fabricated sections and rows on counterfeit tickets. Some are AI generated, others are poorly edited screenshots. Unless you're trained to spot these differences, distinguishing real from fake becomes nearly impossible. AI generated tickets. Let that phrase exist in your mind for a moment. We are not talking about a criminal with basic photo editing software clumsily changing a few numbers on a ticket image. We are talking about artificial intelligence tools being used to generate entirely fabricated ticket images. Correct fonts, correct layouts, correct color schemes, correct security. Hologram patterns for matches, seats, and sections that may not even correspond to anything real in FIFA's actual seating chart. The technology that has made so many things easier and faster for ordinary people has made exactly the same things easier and faster for the people trying to defraud them. Let's talk about urgency, because if there is one psychological weapon that runs through every single one of these scams, it is urgency. The deliberate, engineered feeling that you must act now, this second, or lose your chance forever. The seller pressures you. Pay now or lose the ticket. Creating urgency is a common tactic in both legitimate sales and fraud. Why does this work so well in the context of the World Cup specifically? Because the underlying reality that fuels that urgency is actually true. More than 150 million tickets were requested within just the first 14 days of the sales window, for a tournament with roughly 6 million available seats. That is a real, documented, 25-to-1 demand to supply ratio. Genuine scarcity exists, and criminals know that when real scarcity exists, fake urgency becomes almost indistinguishable from it in the mind of an exhausted, desperate fan who has already lost 3 lottery rounds and is starting to believe this might genuinely be their last chance. Most of the fake portals are registered only weeks before major ticket releases. Checking domain age through Hawaii's tools often reveals how new and suspicious the site is. This is a tool most fans have never used and most fans have never heard of, but it takes about 10 seconds and it is free. A Hawaii's lookup tells you when a website's domain name was registered. If you're looking at a website claiming to be an official FIFA ticketing partner, claiming long-standing relationships, claiming years of trusted service, and the Hawaii's lookup shows the domain was registered 3 weeks ago, you are not looking at a partner. You are looking at a pop-up shop built specifically to catch the current wave of demand and disappear before anyone can hold it accountable. Now let's move to the payment method, because this is where the fraud transitions from you might lose your ticket to you will never see your money again and there's nothing anyone can do about it. The seller insists you pay by Zelle, Cash App, wire transfer, gift cards, or cryptocurrency. The FTC warns that these methods make it much harder to recover your money. If a seller only accepts these payment methods, it's probably a scam. Here is why this matters so much and why this single detail might be the most actionable piece of information in this entire script. Credit card payments, in most jurisdictions, come with built-in fraud protection. If you pay for a ticket with a credit card and the ticket never arrives or turns out to be fake, you can dispute the charge with your bank, and there's a formal regulated process for getting your money back. Use protected payment methods whenever possible. Pay with a credit card rather than wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or peer-to-peer payment apps, because credit cards typically offer fraud protection and dispute support if tickets turn out to be fake or never arrive. Wire transfers, Cryptocurrency, gift cards, and apps like Zelle and Cash App were designed for sending money instantly between people who trust each other, friends splitting a bill, family sending money home. They were never designed with fraud reversal mechanisms for commercial transactions. And criminals know this. The moment a seller insists on one of these payment methods for something as significant as a World Cup ticket, they are not expressing a preference. They are selecting the payment rail that guarantees once your money leaves your account, it is gone permanently, with no recourse, no dispute process, and often no way to even identify who received it. Let's now widen the lens beyond tickets, because tickets are only one front in this war, and arguably not even the most dangerous one for the hundreds of millions of fans who will never set foot in a stadium, but will still want to watch the games. To reduce risk, when looking for FIFA World Cup 2026 streaming options, use only official FIFA channels and licensed regional broadcasters. Watch matches exclusively through broadcasters licensed for your region, and avoid streaming links shared through unsolicited emails, social media messages, or WhatsApp groups. Be cautious of websites offering heavily discounted subscription packages or exclusive access to all matches. Here is the part of the streaming scam that most fans genuinely do not understand, and it is the part that should worry you the most, because it doesn't even require you to lose money in the moment to be devastating. Fans unable to buy tickets are turning to streaming, and cybercriminals anticipated this. Fake. Streaming platforms are collecting subscription fees and simultaneously installing banking malware on victims' devices. Malware families including Vidar, Lumacy 2, and Redline have been documented in FIFA-themed lure campaigns, with over 4,600 FIFA-associated URLs detected inside Stealer log data. Stealer log data is a term from the world of cybersecurity that means something very specific and very frightening. It refers to the actual databases criminals build from malware that has successfully infected a device and is now silently extracting saved passwords, browser cookies, banking app credentials, and autofill payment information, and sending all of it back to the attacker. Over 4,600 URLs related to FIFA have already been found inside these stolen data logs. That number represents real people, right now, today, whose devices have already been compromised through World Cup-themed lures, and who, in most cases, have absolutely no idea it has happened. Let's talk about merchandise, because the official-looking jersey, scarf, or replica trophy is one of the most emotionally powerful purchases a football fan can make, and criminals have built an entire parallel industry around exploiting exactly that emotional connection. A coordinated network of counterfeit FIFA merchandise stores has been found offering jerseys, souvenirs, and official World Cup products at discounts of up to 80%. One domain, registered in March 2026 and designed as an official FIFA store, was built specifically to steal payment card data from buyers who completed checkout. An 80% discount sounds to most people like an incredible deal during a major sale event. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that kind of moment. But for official licensed merchandise tied to the single, themed giveaway scams, 55 separate simultaneously running campaigns, and the giveaway scams deserve special mention because they exploit something football fans are emotionally primed for, the idea that clubs, sponsors, and FIFA itself regularly do run real promotions and real giveaways. You've been selected to receive 2 free World Cup final tickets. Click here to claim. Arrives in an inbox or appears as a social media comment. And because real giveaways do exist in the football world, the line between real and fake becomes blurred in exactly the moment a fan's guard is lowest. Researchers observed extensive use of Facebook ads to promote phishing pages, with the malicious infrastructure containing 3 separate metapixel IDs, indicating that attackers were systematically using Meta's advertising platform to lure victims to fake websites. This detail, 3 separate metapixel IDs, is technical, but its implication is simple and chilling. A metapixel is a tracking tool that advertisers use to measure how effective their ads are and to build targeted audiences based on who clicks, who buys, and who engages. Legitimate businesses use this constantly. Finding multiple metapixel IDs embedded in fraudulent infrastructure means the criminals are not running a single ad and hoping for the best. They are running a full advertising operation, measuring performance, optimizing their targeting, and refining their approach the same way any major brand's marketing team would. They are, in every meaningful sense, running a marketing department, and its target audience is you, are part of this ecosystem too. A calendar invite for an interview that redirects to what looks like a Google sign-in page is one of the oldest credential theft techniques in existence, repackaged with World Cup branding, because the emotional pull of a dream job at the World Cup is strong enough to override the caution that the same person might apply when clicking a link in an email about, say, their bank account. So let's bring this all together into a single practical mental checklist. The kind of checklist that, if you commit it to memory right now, before you do another single search related to this tournament, could be the difference between enjoying this World Cup and becoming one of the tens of thousands of people who have already lost money to it. First, never click. Type FIFA.com. Manually, every single time with your own fingers, from memory, regardless of what link, advertisement, email, or message you have just seen. Second, never trust the padlock or the branding alone. Both can be faked, and in Ghost Stadium's case, both are pulled directly from FIFA's real servers. Third, check the actual delivery format of any ticket, if it's a PDF, a screenshot, or anything that isn't. Inside the official FIFA app with a rotating QR code, walk away. Fourth, pay only by credit card, never by wire transfer, cryptocurrency, gift card, or peer-to-peer apps, regardless of how trustworthy the seller seems. Fifth, treat urgency as a warning sign, not a reason to act faster. The more a seller insists, you must. Decide right now, the more likely it is that right now is the only window in which their scam still works. And sixth, remember that an 80% discount on official World Cup merchandise during the highest demand period in the tournament's history is not generosity. It is a trap with a price tag designed to look like a gift. Ticket fraud is expected to be the most common scam associated with the 2026 tournament, and the operations running it are sophisticated enough to be convincing on first contact. On first contact, not eventually, not if you're not paying attention. On first contact, the very first time you see it, even if you are alert, even if you consider yourself careful, even if you have read every word of this script, these operations are built to be convincing immediately. That is not a reason to panic into inaction. It is a reason to slow down every single time, for every single click, for the next several weeks, because the 19,000 fake domains identified so far are not the end of the story. The FBI expects additional fraudulent domains to emerge as the 2026 World Cup approaches. The 3,800 dormant Ghost Stadium domains are still sitting there, waiting. The number will keep climbing, the sophistication will keep increasing, and the only thing standing between you and becoming part of the next set of statistics is the habit of doing one simple thing every single time without exception. Opening a new tab and typing FIFA.com yourself.